Hello from my short vacation to, drumroll, Brooklyn. Come with me from my home in Brooklyn for a 35-minute bike ride to a different part of Brooklyn to stay in a hostel for a couple of days. As many of you know, my mom's been very sick, and I've spent a lot of time with her in the hospital. I found myself really struggling, processing a lot of very strong emotions about the body, suffering, our religious differences, aging, love, parents, family, life, everything. A lot of existential stuff, a lot of fear and sadness. Meanwhile, my 90-year-old son is home from college, and he's hosting company in our one-bedroom Brooklyn apartment. So what do? I book the cheapest room in the cheapest place, a hostel, $54 a night to sleep with 4 other men and women in this room. It's been probably 15 years since I've been to a hostel. I'm probably too old for it, but here goes. This is a 35-minute bike ride from my neighborhood. I live in the middle of Brooklyn. Let's put a pin in the middle of Brooklyn near Prospect Park. Prospect Park is like the central park of Brooklyn. It's our big park. And in my neighborhood, there's tons of working class people of different backgrounds, of all ages, really like people who've lived here for a long time, a very residential space. But near me, there's also nice neighborhoods like Ditmas Park or Park Slope with a lot of wealthy, middle-aged and older people. This bike ride takes me away from this neighborhood to what's ostensibly Williamsburg, but actually Williamsburg is a waterfront neighborhood. It's very developed, and this is so much on the edge of Williamsburg. I would say it's not really Williamsburg. This is Bushwick, and Bushwick is quite different from waterfront Williamsburg. It's like when I arrive, all I see are warehouses everywhere. It feels a little skeevy. I feel a little uneasy.
Walking here actually makes me a little nervous.
It's just me, warehouses, and everything is covered in graffiti.
Empty lot, graffiti. That's my hostel over there. This is blocks and blocks. What did someone make over there? See?
I love the hostel. So I am staying in a co-ed room with some colorful roommates who speak foreign languages. I have this bed facing a mirror, and there's a giant skylight that really brings in the sun in the morning. Outside of that, there are big public spaces in the hostel, like a living room with couches where people have checked out, spent some time sleeping, and downstairs there's a kitchen. Outside of the hostel, I walk around, and the projects especially remind me of Williamsburg of the past. The projects are low-income New York City housing. I know I've been yelled at for calling them the projects. Apparently the word projects is no longer in vogue, but that's what I grew up using when my grandparents lived in them when I was a child. In Williamsburg, the projects are now under private management. There is a security booth, and almost all the benches around the public spaces of the projects are now gone. But here, they look like they did 30, 40 years ago. I feel giddy with benches. As a tour guide, I always look for spaces to sit, public spaces that people can rest on, and I've watched these spaces shrink in Williamsburg. I suppose that's one of the downsides of a neighborhood developing.
I'm putting back on my shoes. Let me show you. I just hung out in this park, and look at how empty it is.
I walk about 30,000 steps a day in my vacation. Basically, I just walk around and take it in. The crowd everywhere is so young, so hip, so much less yuppie. The coffee shops also feel grittier, like they're in dark basements, in half-developed rooms, like there's a very scrappy hipster ambiance. All I can do is walk, drink coffee, be in my head. I roll out of bed every morning from the hostel and go straight to wandering around for coffee like a zombie towards flesh. And so I find myself in the stunning streak of an early morning sunrise, realizing summer is coming to an end because I'm a little bit chilly. And finally, a local department store is open, and I reluctantly give in and go buy a hoodie. I buy some other dresses. I'm not sure if this is too young looking. Maybe I'll wear it to a date if I get one. I could walk all day here, thinking thoughts, feeling scared, crying a little. I feel far away from everything, which makes me feel good, but also a little bit guilty. I'm sorry for my mom's suffering, and I reflect on the long arc of life, thinking of when she was my age, and then we came to visit her parents in the projects, and how small I remember being. I'm grateful to have grown comfortable in my skin, grateful for all the ways we've all shown love through so much pain. I can't wait for relief of all of this. At night, there is a comedy show at the hostel. 9 people are in attendance. There's free chips and beer, and 2 comics perform. It goes for an hour and a half. I hear the most heartbreaking life story dressed up as humor. It's not really funny. I suppose we are all trying to laugh through the hard stuff.
Oh, somebody kill me, please!
What's the other option? To flee to a nearby hostel? Please, I too want to be a comedian. Anyway, what I love about this day is being so immersed in another part of Brooklyn that feels so different. It feels hood, if you're allowed to say that, in parts. It also feels really young, post-college, hipsterville, wannabe, aspiring city grit.
How do we stop the gentrification in Brooklyn?
I'm from LA, and I also feel like a victim of it, but
What neighborhood do you live in?
Bushwick.
Wait, so you're from LA and you live in Bushwick? That sounds like a fucking gentrifier to me.
The places where it's not crowded out of your mind, where the only other person on the whole block is a homeless person with a suitcase on his head, his pants below his ass, checking out a construction site. This feeling of being so close to home and so far away. It's so Brooklyn.